ready.
All right, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since we made a video, so I guess we'll just start from scratch. I'm going to show you the van. And this is what we use to go to job sites and do all of our work, so do a little van tour. So if you come over here to the end of the van, you'll see everything's labeled on both sides. So down there we have like all of our fasteners for our finish guns. We got our 23 gauge or 18 gauge. Over here we have some Collins clamps. We have some plastic shims. What else do we have here? We have some hand finished nails. We got glue brushes. We have a little hot glue gun and glue kit. We have some contact cement in case we ever need it. We got a couple of longer clamps that won't fit in our clamp rack. Some adhesive guns. Here, just some mineral spirits and Drydex. Small Craig pocket jig kit for on-site stuff. Some wood plugs. Some fast cabinet stickers in all different colors. This one's kind of a mixed bag with WD-40. We got extra locks for gang boxes. We got washers, sorted tool wrenches. We got a little pry bar. We got a bunch of these rubber bungee cords like extra. Keep our extension cords on both sides hanging off of hooks. We have a three-way. Most of our extension cords are three-way. We got this is new. We just picked this up. It's a rigid power cord. Seems to be working okay, and it has a dedicated USB. If we move in, we got some paint sticks here. Kind of just use those as shims though. Try not to paint if I don't have to. Come up in the van. Over here, you can see up here we got it says Dewalt Routers. Right now we just have one router. We got some 12-volt batteries for our lasers. Got a Dewalt Drill and Impact. Got a Dewalt planer. Got a rigid belt sander battery. If we're doing heavy duty stuff, we'll use a porta cable corded one. This is good for spot stuff, like you're just doing some stuff. Got Dewalt batteries up here for these tools. We got the little brackets that they mount into. This way they're not rolling around. So the flex volt batteries, you can check the power, but the power button on the 20-volt batteries is in the back. Got some more batteries over here, more DeWalt. Got assorted chargers for different tools. We got a Makita double charger. We got Senko charger. We got some DeWalt fast chargers. We got a rigid charger. We've got other assorted batteries in this little pull-out drawer. Some Festool batteries, Senko, Makita batteries, rigid. Just basically anything for any of the tools. We're not really a one platform company. We just sort of buy what's best. Over here we have the FlexVolt table saw in its own little compartment. Stores away nicely. Just keep a bungee cord on it so it doesn't fall out. This is the wheel well. So we were sort of limited for space, so we built this box out. So if you look down here, we've got a DeWalt laser. We got a framing square. We got a big square. We got a Japanese saw, a couple of hand saws, extra track saw blade. There's some other Festool filters for the vacuums. We got Kenny's tool bag. We got some garbage bags. We got some of these from Diamondback. These are good. Just clip them right on to your tool belt when you're working. You can put extra fasteners in there. Up here on this side, this is a DeWalt miter saw stand. Got an extra set of horses behind that, sort of stows away nicely. Moving over, we'll continue. Here's my tool belt, just sort of lives here. Diamondback tool belt. I guess maybe we can do a video on that sometime. Over here, we've got the, let me put my shades on, the HKC 55 carpentry saw. This saw is very, very good. It's battery. Here's the porta cable corded belt sander for some heavy duty work.
Pick it up with the vacuum.
So here we have the Festool MIDI vacuum cleaner. A couple extra bags. We got some vacuum accessories for cleaning. Below that, we store our compressors and our hoses. We got a roll air compressor, corded, and then we also have a compressor, a rigid compressor. We do have a bigger compressor if we're going to be running some framing guns and stuff, which we'll load on. But that generally gets us through what we're going to do. We got some more adhesive guns, can never have enough of those. Here, we'll move back to the back here again. So we got some random screw indexes and organizers on the top here. These are basically shelf pins. We got cabinet handle screws. This goes 2 deep back. There's probably more of the same. This one's a little bigger. Got just more assorted fasteners. Then we got these Milwaukee. These are all loaded up. Each one has different fasteners in it. Just kind of look around. Eventually maybe we'll get these a little more organized and we'll label what's what. Here we have the Dewalt 780. I switched to this saw. I was using the Capex on site. I just needed more cut capacity for crown molding. So I put a good blade on it. I put this this blade right here, this Festool XL 4000, very good blade. Got a little zero clearance kerf. I put on the zero clearance plates on the back. You can see there's some wood blocks attached. That's for the stand, which is up here. We made a custom stand. This way we're able to cut full lengths of door casing, completely supported. This also has slots in it for putting a crown jig for crown stops. There's a whole bunch of other things. We could probably do a whole separate video on that. Here we have all of our soldered hand clamps that we generally would use on site. This is a tool bag. This is just all hand tools on both sides. These are all kind of just extra. You got the longer stuff in there. Got your mallets and hammers. Here you have your screwdrivers, chisels, and wrenches. So anything we need is kind of like right there. This bag just sort of lives right here. We can move it out of the way if we need it. Moving over, staying on the bottom. Got the CT26. This generally would get hooked up to the miter saw. This also is another Vito Pro Pack. This is just more hand tools. Behind this is a Cadex 21 gauge pin nailer. This works, this is an air nailer, but 21 gauge is nice because it shoots heads and headless. We've got a TS55 Festool track saw down there, which is good. That's the corded version. I do have the battery version. I just found it was a little weak. We got some Festool battery sanders. I like these. We got the square one. We got the sandpaper for it. This is a Makita 150 sander. I have the Rodex, but I keep that down in the shop, and I keep this one on the truck. Here we have a Rodex 90. This is corded. This is battery. This is the ETSC 125. This is the Delta sander. These are all the battery ones. Nice Festool drill. I like this. Has the right angle attachment and a few other attachments. Although I generally don't pull this out. Kind of just sits here on display. Up here, it's a level bag full of all Stabilo levels of all sizes. Every pocket is full. Keep some extra rags right here. This little bad boy right here is actually a coping jig that attaches to this table right here. We got some suction clamps from when we're putting wall panels on so that they're easier to handle. More sandpaper, more suction clamps. Moving up here, we have the tracks for the carpentry saw and for the track saw. We got probably more tracks than we need up there, but that's where they are. This is where we live with 2 4-foot ladders. We do have 6 and 8 foot that we will bring for job specific needs. A couple of rotary hammer drills. These are on here for a deck we just built when we were going ahead and doing the footings and stuff like that. Generally only one of those would be here. This one's broken. This one's going to be going back for repair. Behind the ladders, you can see we have another set of horses. And then we also have, if you reach all the way back in here, these flip top rigid stops, which we've actually modified and cut down to work in conjunction to hold up our miter saw stand. It all sets up fairly quickly, probably in like 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how level the ground is. Here we have Ken Dog's tool belt. He inherited this Diamondback pouch from me, and he still has the old CLC. He's got himself a new belt because his old belt broke. Moving over here, we go to the pack out. We just started getting in the pack out not too long ago. We've got the crate on top. In this crate, we basically keep our battery nailers. So we've got two Senko 18 gauge and we got a Senko 15 gauge. They run on the same batteries. These are very good nailers. Haven't failed me yet. A couple of screw indexes right underneath that. And then we have the pack out drawer kits, which everyone and their mother is trying to get right now. These are great because if we need something, we just flip this down, open it up. We got some hole saws. We got these bungees in here just to tie it down. So we got all hole saws in this one. This one is Fastener bits, spade bits, and just some random drill bits. Here's a ratchet set. Some Allen keys are in there too. This is all just stuff that you kind of need to grab real quick. You want to know where it is. This one is a chalk box. We got the stud finders, excellent stud finder, the Franklin. If you've never used it, I suggest you try it. So we got Sharpies, pencils, chalk. We got some marking paint. We got some string line. We've got an angle gauge for crown, just to stare it. We've got my daughter's colored pencils in there. This drawer, this is where you can see where you can actually fit a lot of stuff in these 3 drawer packouts. We have 2 Dewalt jigsaws in here. One with the base plate and one with the coping foot, so we don't have to switch back and forth. These jigsaws are my favorite right now. Still probably, I don't think, as good as the Bosch corded ones, but they're battery. So as far as the battery ones go, I like them the best. Moving down, we got some assorted dominoes and biscuits. We got the exterior dominoes from when we're doing decks. Got some biscuits, got regular dominoes. Got some pin nailers. These are all air nailers. Here we have the Milwaukee 12 volt battery pin nailer. This thing is excellent. And then also an air nailer 18 gauge. Close that up. Let me move these ladders. We'll just move Ken Dog's belt over here for now. So over here, Festool Impact. I've got 2 of these actually. I got one in the shop and one here. I think hands down these are the best. They're a little pricey, but after using this and then going back to the Dewalt, this is much better. These are all assorted Milwaukee screw and drill bits. There's a ton of them in here. I don't think we'll ever run out. We've got M18 Charger Radio. I don't know how to work it. Kenny usually sets this up. There we go.
Always get what you want. You can't always get what you want.
So yeah, no, this thing is great. It's got speakers in 4 different directions, so you can put it anywhere you want on the job site and kind of hear it. Moving down, we got more screw indexes. This one's marked. There's some batteries in here, some AA batteries, some other things just in case. These are all filled with different fasteners as well. These are like more deck fasteners so that we would bring them out to the site. We have another one. There's more fastener bits and some extra Sawzall blades right in there. This is our finishing kit. This is Bondo and just all sorts of stuff and polish and whatnot, anything you would need, whether you're doing corian or getting ready to paint a cabinet. And then on the bottom here, we have a Dewalt SDS drill, which is battery, and a Milwaukee bandsaw, which is battery. We don't usually use those much, and I would love to be able to, for Milwaukee to come out with a single drawer pack out that I'd be able to just use and pull them in and out. But right now they don't really fit in anything else. Moving over to this side, this bright thing that's blinding me. is the Milwaukee light charger. This thing is great. Generally it just sits right here in the van, but when you come in the van and it's dark, and it gets very dark in the winters here early around 4:30, it's nice to be able to click this on and see what you're looking for. These pack outs right here, this one's filled with PL adhesive. This one's got caulk and different other adhesives. You actually fit 36 tubes inside of this, which is really nice. This one up here, also the same one. This has got sanding belts, ratchet straps, stapler. It's got the lock set jig. This was really just a catch-all. Like, I had a bunch of extra stuff when I was going through the van, and it wound up in here. This one I have my Festool Domino joiner, and also a corded Biscuit joiner in this. The next one down is also an XL pack out. This has a battery sawzall and a couple of circular saws in here. I believe there's a Dewalt battery one in there, and there's also just a regular like skill saw in there. Moving down, we got more Dominoes, because you can never have enough of those. Right there, just more Dominoes, some of the fatter ones. These are all for the 500, these Dominoes. Then we have the Festool bit set. I don't know why I bought this, but I have it, and it's taking up a space. So I don't use the Festool drill. Then we just have our random tapes in there. It's always nice to have a tape drawer. Close that. We can come around. Ken can move around the front side here. We still have one more wooden shelf. This has CA glue, wood glue, putty knives, wood filler. Everything's just kind of crammed in there. Sort of does its job, and I really wasn't going to be able to fit another pack out in here where the door was. We've got the worktop on here. Haven't used it yet, but it looks really nice. So we got that going for it. Going in here, we have the first aid kit, or as I like to call it, Kenny's drawer. We have an iron for edge banding. We got a couple of shim airbags. These are really good when you're setting doors. We got a little random screw thing for random screws that wind up in your pocket. We just kind of throw in there instead of throwing them on the floor. Over here, we got some pinch dogs. We've got a Bosch digital angle finder. This drawer is probably going to get a couple more things. You can see it's now marked, so it kind of just wound up that way, but we're going to do that eventually. Moving down, another 2 drawer. This is the PUR applicator gun and adhesive. This is really good. I see I also have some 2P10 activator in here. Probably just wasn't room for it. Moving down, this is my new favorite tool, the Makita battery biscuit joiner. This thing is amazing. I actually keep the Allen key in here, so I got to lower the handle in order to fit it in, but it fits in. So that's actually an amazing tool to be able to have on site. Over here we have our oscillating tools. We have, I believe they call them the Victoro or something like that. We have a corded one, we have a battery one. These things are great. I used to use the fine battery one, but the fine batteries aren't as good as the Festool batteries, so hence the switch. Here we go. Another one of my favorite tools, the X-Lock grinder. No more wrenches or anything. You want to change the blade, you just lift this, like that, the blade pops out. You want to put a blade on, you just line it up. And snap it in. Just like that. Kind of like changing a fine tool blade. This goes in like that. We got plenty of discs for it. They sell the discs at Home Depot. They're easy to find. We got some sanding discs. We got some metal discs. That's also another great tool. Saves you a lot of time. Down here, this is the Festool battery jigsaw. This also has a coping foot, but it's also pretty easy to change the coping foot to the regular plate here. Unlike the Dewalt, you just pull this green lever and it comes off. So that jigsaw is very good. Just the strobe lights, a little crazy. Over here, we have some cam clamps. These things are worth their weight in gold when you're doing mitered casings or anything that's miter. Pulls it shut and keeps it shut, makes your work look much better. I think I covered just about everything. What do you think, Ken?
I think that's a wrap on this.
Right, and then we have the cab. We have our hard hats, business cards, bunch of junk on the dashboard, bunch of spit bottles from my dip, some PPE, and I think that's it. All right, so we'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.
Yo.